going to be a brief TBR video for a summer Fling reading challenge that I'm going to participate in. I originally saw the video shared by SteepedinBooks. She and several other co-hosts made a card that features 12 book prompts, and you have to pick 12 books that sort of fit in the categories. And I have picked 12. 9 of them are available on Kindle Unlimited, and 3 of them I did borrow electronically from the library. I have my list in my notebook, so let's get to it. The first square is Down Home Country. They explained the prompt sort of as life in a small town, and I went with Virgin River by Robin Carr. It is a Netflix series. There's 1 season available now, which I have watched, which sort of led me to this book. And I'm excited to read it because I know there's a series of books, and there's also going to be a 2nd and 3rd season available on Netflix. It has 4.5 stars with 1,578 reviews. So I'm anticipating this one being a pretty good book. The next square was Big City Life, so sort of the opposite of the last one, and I picked Practically Persuaded in Pittsburgh. This one is also available on Kindle Unlimited. It is a novella by J.B. Schroeder, so I'm anticipating this one being smaller, and it had 4.5 stars with 40 reviews. It is written by an author that lived and went to school in Pittsburgh. The next square is an author of color, and I selected another Kindle Unlimited book. It is Stay Down by K.C. Mills. And with 81 reviews, it has 5 stars. For the dark and dangerous category, I selected a paranormal romance. It is also a Kindle Unlimited, and I selected this one just because I liked the cover. It is Rise of the Hawk by Becca Clark. For the hot and spicy prompt, I selected a firefighter romance. It is called Forged in Fire by Trish McCallan. It is also a Kindle Unlimited on book with the reviews, with 1,786 reviews and 4.5 stars. The next prompt was Sweet and Clean. I selected a Kindle Unlimited book in the clean and wholesome romance category. I'll have to double check, but I believe it was one of the best sellers in that category. I selected Beach Rental by Grace Green. It also has 4.5 stars with 1,793 reviews. The next category is Road Trip, and I selected a Kindle Unlimited book written in 2019, so it only has 18 reviews, but it does have 4.5 stars. It is Tip the Scales, a road trip romance. It is the first in a larger series. I believe they were all road trip romances, so I'm interested to see how this goes. For the Friends to Lovers prompt, I picked a book that has been on my TBR list for quite a few months now. Facebook kept advertising it to me, and so I put it in my list, and I decided I was going to get to it eventually. It is called That Boy. It is available on Kindle Unlimited by Jillian Dodd. It has 4.5 stars with 1,256 reviews. For the diversity prompt, I selected a book from my library. It is You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson, and I have heard quite a bit about this book, so I'm anxious to read it. For disability representation, I selected The Thing with Feathers by McCall Hoyle. This is a Kindle Unlimited book, and it has 4.5 stars with 100 ratings. I believe this book is going to be about someone who has a condition that makes them have seizures, because the book said they did have a dog, a support dog that could alert them to seizures or get help if there's an event of a seizure. For an old school historical, this one was a little bit more difficult for me to choose a book for. In SteepedinBooks video, she suggested something that had Fabio on the cover, which I'd never read a book that had Fabio on the cover, so I went with one from my library called Warrior's Woman by Joanna Lindsay. And for category romance, the suggestion was to pick something that was a Harlequin romance, so I went with one from my library called Conveniently Engaged to the Boss by Ellie Darkins. I chose that one just because I felt like the title was extremely specific and it grabbed my attention. If you have Kindle Unlimited, this will be 9 books that I'm going to read and review over the next month, and it'll maybe give you an idea if it's something you'd like to borrow. And 3 of them will be from my library, so I would imagine that they were available pretty easily across the nation, that you could check them out if you wanted to. Thank you, and I'm anxious to see how this month goes. If you're participating in the Summer Fling this August, leave me a message down below letting me know which book you're most excited to read.